Welcome to Lighting for Profits.
All light, all light, all light.
Powered by Emery Allen. Here is your host, Ryan Lee.
All light, all light, all light. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the #1 landscape lighting show in Augusta, Georgia. I can't believe this, guys. We've been in Augusta, Georgia before, but we're still the #1 landscape lighting show there. So it's pretty cool. I'm excited, you guys. If you're looking to start or grow a landscape lighting business, you're definitely in the right place. We got another doozy lined up for you. We're here to educate, here to motivate, because we want you to dominate. So let's do this together. I'm so excited. Love doing this show. Love building the community. There's so many amazing things that are about to happen in the landscape lighting industry, and I'm just glad that I get to be a part of it. So today we got an awesome guest. We got TJ Lucero with Redwoods Landscape Lighting, and it's kind of like it's like their debut to the landscape lighting industry. They were at Light It Up Expo a few weeks ago, maybe now. I can't remember. It was like so long ago, a few weeks ago. But TJ's an awesome dude. I've got to know him, got to hang out a little bit. And so if you're looking and you're like, hey, you know what? Maybe I'm looking for a new product. Maybe I'm in exploration mode. You're going to want to listen to this episode. We're going to talk about their product, but we're also going to talk about his journey as an entrepreneur and some of the things that differentiate them in the industry. So excited to be joined by TJ in just a few minutes. Hey, by the way, if you have not, I'm still begging, I'm still asking for those 5-star reviews on Apple. So click those 5 stars, go to Apple Podcast, click the 5 stars, write something nice if you got some value, and give our guests, like maybe if you had a favorite episode, a favorite guest, give them a shout out. That'd be cool in the review, right? So appreciate you guys for doing that, and just want to thank you for your support. I can't believe we're getting closer and closer to our 200th episode. And I don't know. It blows my mind. I love this lighting industry. The people are amazing. The manufacturers, the distributors, the service providers, everyone. So just super, super grateful. But again, in just a couple of minutes, we're going to have TJ Lucero with Redwoods Landscape Lighting. You're not going to want to miss this. Before I have him on, guys, I want to talk about something real quick, because this is happening to me right now. And I like to talk about topics that are real to me, because I feel like they're going to be real to you as well. And most of you guys know, if you've been listening, I kind of declared to the world that I'm going to be doing these Spartan races. And the reason I'm doing these Spartan races, there's a concept called misogi. I'm not even sure if I say that right, but it was actually this guy on social media. I saw him talking about this concept of misogi, and however you say that, MISOGI. And it's like, come up with one big thing a year that you're going to do that's going to challenge you, push you, and help you get uncomfortable. And I was like, dude, I love that. Because I love jumping in cold lakes, because I don't like jumping in cold lakes. Like, I like doing things that I don't want to do. And so I was like, hey, I'm going to come up with something. And I was like, well, what am I going to do? And lately I've been like more focused on my health. I mean, we always want like health, wealth, and relationships. Like, those are the things that create happiness. But I feel like it's not that I've achieved a level of relationships or wealth that I want. Like, I'm always growing those. But it just, I don't know, I guess I just turned 45. I'm just more focused on my health. So I'm doing 200 push-ups a day. I'm drinking about 100 ounces of water a day. I'm doing things, but I'm like, I want something to challenge me. Like, and those are a challenge too, by the way, but I want something big. I want something that, and the misogi, he said, is something that, by the way, is so big that there's like a 50% chance that you're going to fail. And like, that's scary, because you're like, you tell everyone about it, and then you tell them, how's it going? Oh, I failed. Like, no one really wants to say that. So you're going to, by declaring it to the world, you're going to like do things that you otherwise wouldn't do. Right. So I told everyone, okay, I'm doing 3 Spartan races, and a friend of mine had invited me and said, hey, you should come do these Spartan races with us. And so there's a 5K, a 10K, and a 21K. And I started training, I started running, I started lifting weights, doing all these things. And I was staying really disciplined. I was like, oh, no, I'm going to be running 3 times a week, lifting 3 times a week. I was going to do this thing. Well, here's the problem. Getting started is fun. I remember I even did it was a Facebook Live or something like that, like me running the first time. And I was like smiling, like, hey, I'm on mile 2. I'm doing this, and let's go, and let's be motivated together. And it was a blast. And then like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks in, it's like, not so fun anymore. It's kind of like a grind. And you know when it became a real grind is when I had to go out of town, and I had to go to Light It Up Expo, and I had to prepare for Light It Up Expo. And I was gone for a week. And then from there, I went to Switzerland. I was gone for a week. And then I just got back from my daughter's dance competition in Vegas. Like, I'm not at home in my home environment where I can like control what happens. It's harder to find time to go running when you're putting on an expo. It's harder to find time to go running when you're skiing in the Alps or when you're in Vegas, right? Like it's just harder. Like all of a sudden what happens? Excuses come in. And so, discipline is an interesting topic. It's the honeymoon phase, whether it's starting a business, starting a workout routine, starting a diet. The honeymoon phase is fine. Like anyone can get through that. It's fun. You're like, oh, this is kind of cool. But then the grind phase presents itself. And man, that is tough. And that is the reason. The grind phase is the reason you need a why. You need to understand, like, why are you doing this? And if you haven't declared your goals and your destination, like where you're going and why you're going, if you haven't declared that to friends, family, the world, like I just do it like online, like a crazy person. But if you haven't done that, it's a lot easier just to retreat. Like by now, if I wouldn't have declared everything to everyone, I'm just telling you right now, like it would have been easier. Like, I mean, had excuses with the expo and then the ski trip and all. Yeah, I'll do the Spartan next year. Like that would have been the easy way. But because I declared it, I'm like, no, I'm effing doing the Spartan race. And by the way, guys, so I've got 5 of them. I'm going to do or 3 of them this year. I've already missed the 5K. So there's a good chance I'm going to fail because I've already missed one race. The good news is I bought another race in Montana. I think it's like in May or something like that. So I'm still going to do it. I'm still going to not fail. But it hasn't started out smooth. It has not started out smooth. Monday, I got back into running and I ran like 2.25 miles and my legs were like dead the next day. I was like, oh my gosh, like this was yesterday. I'm like, I don't want to run. And I was like, well, I got to run. So I went running, even though my legs were sore. And I thought, oh, this will loosen it up. I'll probably feel better. Well, it turns out, no, that's not true. They feel worse. Like they feel like just dead weight. Like I can't even pick them up to walk. I'm walking like an old dude. And the reason I'm sharing this with you guys is because that's how discipline is. Like discipline isn't perfection. So the next time you think like, well, I'm just not disciplined enough. I don't know if I can do that. Like it's not perfection. It's probably like the ideal version of discipline is to just be perfect on everything, but that's not what happens. Like, I'm doing the Spartan thing. I'm doing the running and stuff like that. Like, yeah, I missed. So what am I going to do? Like, I just have to start now. And a lot of people start to feel guilt. They start to feel left behind. Like, oh, well, since I already missed it, I'll just keep missing it. But that's not the solution. The solution is if you want to achieve your goals, you want to achieve that dream desire of the diet, the exercise, the dream business, the dream life, whatever it is. Like you have to. When you fall off, is get right back up. Okay. And I talked about at the Light It Up Expo, I talked about your definite chief aim. Like, where are you going? Why is this so important? What are you going to sacrifice to get there? Well, you're going to probably sacrifice some desires and things like that. Like, I don't desire to go run right now. I don't desire to go lift weights, but I've got this definite chief aim. Like, I'm going to do these Spartan races. And my goal isn't to get like first place. Okay. I'm also like, I just want to finish the dang thing. After I finish it, then I'm probably like, no, I want 5th place. No, I want 3rd. I want 1st, whatever. Right. But right now I'm just trying to finish. And so the key is to get through the grind phase as fast as possible. Now, how do we get through the grind phase? Well, like from an exercise standpoint or from a growing your business standpoint, if you guys are in a growing your business standpoint and you're grinding, the easiest way is to find a guide. You find a helper, you find someone, a mentor, someone who's already done what you want to do. Okay. And I'll tell you, whether you're going to run a marathon or a Spartan race, whatever, you can go find a guide. There are trainers that will say, this is what you need to do. How much time do you have? Okay. You got 6 weeks. This is your regimen. Oh, you got 6 months. This is what you got to do. Same thing with business. Okay. How long do you have to succeed? A lot of you guys haven't set a destination. Like I know I have a Spartan race on April 12th. Like that is a true deadline. If I'm not ready to freaking run a 10K and do 25 obstacles by April 12th, I'm going to fail. Have you set a deadline for your business? Have you set a deadline, a dead by date to say, you know what? Like I'm not going to do sales. I'm not going to do installs. I'm not going to answer my phone by this date. Because if you haven't, you'll just put it off. Like, again, if I hadn't defined April 12th as my 10K date, I promise you right now, I would just be like, oh, I'll do it later. I'll probably run a 10K like in June or something. And again, it was because I have excuses that will take me through that and be like, yeah, but that was before I got busy. And, I did a good job with Light It Up Expo, so I deserve it, right? And we start to make all these excuses. So this is key, guys. You need a guide, you need a mentor, and you need to define where you're going and the date in which you're going to do it, and then just do it. That is discipline. That is discipline. And then doing it when you don't want to. Like, I don't want to do 200 push-ups every day. Some days I do. Some days I'm like, dude, I feel great. I'm gonna go bust these out, do 4 sets of 50, right? And then other days I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired and I just don't feel like it. And if I hadn't declared to the world, and I have people that check up on me, people will send me a text, send me a message. Hey, have you done, how's your push-ups going? Like, that is a motivating factor. That keeps me going, right? And I know I'm going to see people, and like, you can tell if someone's doing their push-ups or not. Okay. So like, I have real consequences to this stuff. So what are the real consequences of you not succeeding in your business? Because most of you, if you're listening to the show, you're not average. You're not just like mediocre. You're not like, oh yeah, I wonder what I could do to get by to just, be mediocre. Like, you're trying to level up. You're trying to be the top version of yourself. But you got to get specific and clear, crystal clear on what you're doing, where you're going, when you're going to do it by, what are you willing to give up, and declare it to the world. When you do that, and I mean, let me give a pitch here real quick for Landscape Lighting Secrets. That's what Landscape Lighting Secrets is. Like, you're part of a community. You declare it to the people, and then we hold you accountable. Like, that's the whole point of a mentorship, a guide. And you don't have to join Landscape Lighting Secrets. There's other programs. And of course, we're talking about business. If you want to get a fitness coach, whatever it is, like, this is the way. And I promise you, I can tell you that, because if I'm living proof of it. Like, it's not easy. I fell off the wagon for a while, and now I'm back on. And now I got just a short period of time to get ready for that 10K. So it's amazing what will happen too when you do fall off just for like a couple weeks. I feel like I'm starting at ground zero again. It's almost harder to start this time. But what I have noticed is, if you do stay disciplined, like when I do my 200 push-ups every single day, which is, that one's, I'm pretty locked in on that. It's actually not that hard. Like, I don't even get sore anymore, but that's the advantage of being disciplined. When you stay disciplined, it starts to, what used to be difficult isn't as difficult anymore, and it becomes easy. So I want it to get easy for you guys. I want you to get through this grind phase as fast as possible. And so you don't feel like, if you don't work out, go do as many push-ups as you can today. And tomorrow you'll see what I'm talking about. You will feel the pain. You will feel like, oh man, that's sore. Or if you don't run, go run 2 miles. And the next day, like, dang, my legs hurt. What will happen if you create discipline and you keep doing those things over and over and over for just a short period of time, like a couple weeks, you'll be like, I'm not in pain. I don't feel the pain that I was feeling before with push-ups. That's what I want for you guys. I don't want you to feel the pain anymore. And if you get through the grind phase, you reach the momentum phase. And momentum, oh my gosh, it's beautiful. It's painless. It feels good. You're happy. You're excited again. That's where you guys want to be. So that's all I got for you. Let's see. Let's do this. Where's my music? Oh, there we go. Let me know if you guys are motivation and discipline are two very different things, right? Sometimes you're motivated, but you don't like the discipline. Sometimes you have the discipline, but you don't have motivation. But anyway, hey guys, performance matters. And, this is a true statement for a lot of things, including the kind of lighting you use. So don't sell yourself short with your customer by using budget level products. Emery Allen is at the top of their game when it comes to performance. Take their VA rating, for example, lowest in the industry. Well, what does that mean? With efficiency, you get a low voltage ampere rating. You're able to drive more bulbs on a circuit with a given transformer rating. With lower quality bulbs and the same transformer, you won't be able to put as many lights on that same circuit. So make the switch to Emery Allen today. All you need to do is email Tom G at emeryallen.com, and he will hook you up with the discounted contractor price. Just email Tom G at emeryallen.com. Don't waste your time going to the website. Just email Tom G at emeryallen.com. Mention that you heard about him here on Lighting for Profits, and you'll get that discounted contractor pricing. All right, guys. Now, the moment you really came. It wasn't really to talk about discipline. It was to talk to our guest, TJ Lucero. So let's get that music going and let's get him coming on. If you guys have questions, let me know. But let's get our guest joining us. Are you guys ready? I hope so. I am. What is up, Mr. TJ Lucero? Thanks for joining
us.
Hey,
Ryan. Thanks for having me. Long time coming. Finally excited to be here for the full podcast.
Absolutely, man. I'm excited. I was telling people this is kind of like Redwoods' debut to the landscape lighting industry.
Yeah, we've been doing this, 6.5 years, almost 7. And this year is really the first time that people are hearing about us. Not to say we haven't been selling and shipping a lot of fixtures, but the AOLP and the Light It Up Expo were the first time we ever went and did any expo or shows. So yeah, it's on.
Nice, man. Well, thanks for joining me. I'm excited to have you on here. I've gotten to know you a little bit at Light It Up Expo and hanging out and stuff like that, which was a lot of fun. Not just during the show, but after the show. Yeah, you and your buddies provided some good entertainment to me, so I appreciate that.
we try. Just on your intro there, talking about discipline, I've been thinking a lot about that lately. Discipline is really a journey. Like any journey, you have setbacks, kind of like you did temporarily, right? But you just gotta keep it going. And kind of like you said, it also it's like a muscle. You got to keep working it. The more you focus on it and do it, the easier it gets, as you know. So I wish you luck in the Spartan races. You'll get back on it. I used to do Tough Mudders. I've done some half marathons, done a full marathon. Been a little while, but been thinking about doing something again. The hard 75 workout. You heard of that one?
75 hard, yeah.
75 hard, yeah. 75 hard. I'm contemplating it. It's legit, but we'll see.
That one,
I'll decide here.
I'm assuming it's hard, but I'm a little bit torn because the thing that I appreciate about 75 hard or even like the Spartan that I'm doing, I can assure you that if I didn't like commit and pay the money and say, tell my friends I'm doing these Spartan races, I would not be running right now. Like there's no way I would have ran the last 2 days, especially the second day, because after the first day my legs were beaten. I was like, oh, I deserve the day off. Like, so I like it because when you commit to something, like you're committed, like that's what creates discipline. If you don't have a why, if you don't have a destination, if you don't have this thing, then there's no reason to have discipline.
Yeah, it's one of the strategies, right? Is telling others about your goals and what you want to do, and they hold you accountable. People are following up with you. I mean, that for people that are serious about anything, whether it be working out, fitness, or even business goals. I mean, that's why a lot of people go and say, my goal is 5 million in revenue this year. And people hold them to it and ask them about it. So, in business as well.
Yeah. And I guess that's one thing I didn't share is like, I'm talking about fitness, but like, if you're here to grow your business and you're like, you know what, like, I don't even really care about revenue. I just want to get it to where like I have a salesperson, I have an office manager, I have 2 installers. Okay, cool. Like that's the start. When is that going to happen? Because if you don't say it's going to be in 18 months from now, then it might never happen again. Like my Spartan race example, like if I said, yeah, I'm going to start running, like when, like, no, but like literally April 12th is like a real deadline. I have to run a 10K then, So if you say your real deadline to have 2 installers, an office manager, and a salesperson is 18 months from now, declare it to the world, tell us about it. Like it will happen. If not, it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And have your goals there, your steps, break it into little steps to achieve it. You gotta have a good plan, but no, absolutely.
Well, dude, tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you waited till I left Utah to come to Utah to come skiing. So thank you for that.
Yeah, luckily Utah treated us well. Went with some friends and my son and my wife. We went and met some friends that just moved to Salt Lake City this summer from Chicago, longtime friends, and we went to Brighton. It was awesome. We had about 30 inches of fresh powder that first day, and then the next 2 days, bluebird days. It was fantastic. We will be going back. But yeah, so a little bit about myself. Been married. God, I was thinking about it. Or been with my wife. We're college sweethearts. We're closer to 30 years than not being together.
Dang.
And then we have
Congrats.
a 7-year-old son. He's seen this podcast. He's seen me watch it. So he was pretty excited when he heard I was going to be on. So shout out to
Awesome.
Maxton. I love you, buddy. But
What up,
yes.
Maxton?
What up,
Cool.
Maxton? Yep. So yeah, the way I got into lighting, one thing you notice once you get into this, no one ever starts off in landscape lighting. I've yet to meet a person that does that ever. And it's always interesting to talk to people about what their backgrounds were. And some were very convoluted and they get into it and you're like, you did what before? So I graduated, undergrad in the midst of the .com bubble, if you remember that. 2001, May of 2001, I graduated. I think it started in 2000 and the NASDAQ, I think had its lowest level October 2020 or 2002. So it was in the middle of it. I had an opportunity. I started with John Deere as a software developer. And I was happy to get that opportunity because of the situation, the way the economy was at that time, for those that remember. But I started off knowing because I love tech, I always wanted to move over to the business side. So in 2004, I got an opportunity to move over to the operations business side, supply demand planning, forecasting. And then over the next, at the time I was there, 16 and a half years, moved up in different positions, actually had a great opportunity, worked in, we lived and worked in Germany for a couple of years at the John Deere European headquarters in Mannheim. And we got married right before we moved over. So it was like a 2-year honeymoon. It was fantastic. My wife, she couldn't work because she didn't have a work visa. So she was planning our weekend trips and we made the most of it. It was
awesome.
fantastic. And then came back to the States. But the whole time I was at John Deere, I was exposed to a lot of product programs, combines, tractors, attachments. And it really exposed me to what goes into really designing and developing and offering a great product. And then in 2000, I thought I was going to stay there the rest of my life. And then in 2015, I got an opportunity that I couldn't pass up with Apple, working in Cupertino headquarters on iPhone operations. And I talked to my wife about it, and she's like, you have to go. Like you'll regret this if you don't. So I loved every day that I went into work, working with some of the smartest people in the world, working there in that whole Silicon Valley area. But again, working on products, really great products, and learning what goes into it. Also got exposed to China and Asia manufacturing. I was over there a lot at a lot of the factories, so got exposed to that. And then what happened is our son was born in 2017, and we were living in the South Bay area, beautiful area, but we were living in a 1,200 square foot home, California nice, which means a washer and dryer in the garage, and we're spending like $4,100 a month on rent. And beautiful, area, but we're like, this is crazy, and we had to decide whether we were going to stay there or not. And then at the same time, the house we were living in, I was wanting, this is how I got into lighting. So at that house, I wanted to put a couple uplights on the front to kind of light up for security and make it look nice. So I walked to the Home Depot, and I had never looked at the lights before, and there's just crap. Like you go to Lowe's Home Depot, but it's really bad quality, inexpensive aluminum fixtures. Then I went to a couple lighting design stores, and they had much nicer light fixtures. But what I saw, knowing product and manufacturing, they were so overpriced for what they were, and I could not believe that there was this differential. I looked for something in the middle, really couldn't find it. So I have a buddy that's been in landscape lighting for a long time, called him up and, said, hey, this is what I'm seeing. And he's like, yeah, that kind of is what it is. There's, the lower end, there's the higher end, but there's not a lot of really mid-level priced fixtures with great features. So we talked for a while. I'm like, That could be an opportunity. I looked into it more, obviously. And in March of 2018, I decided to go ahead and try to design some fixtures while I was still working full time. So over the next 4 months, I designed what are now, we still sell them, our first three fixtures, the aspen accent, the redwood accent, and the pine. And on one of my trips over to China or to Asia with Apple, I stayed, took some personal time, and I went and vetted potential different manufacturers, found one that we still use today. We have a great relationship with them, and we kind of grew from there. So a long convoluted way of telling you how we got into it, or how I got into it. But we've been growing the business. We've been growing the business the last 6.5 years. We have a full product line, and yeah.
Nice, man. Well, like usual, all roads lead to lighting. So it is kind of interesting because everyone has a different way they discovered the industry. Maybe Maxton, like someone's kid is going to be on a podcast one day and be like, well, yeah, I've been in the industry my entire life.
It's all I know. I grew
It's
up
all
in
I
it.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get him here. He helps, label products. I pay him a little bit of money, so it's great.
Nice. Well, not to get off topic too much, but if you guys are not paying your kids, there is the IRS is okay with you paying your kids a certain amount of money every year that you don't have to pay taxes on. So check that out.
Look into it. Absolutely. Losing money if you don't.
Yeah, I love it. Well, that's cool. So you like skiing, you lived in Germany, you have a tech background, of course, that got you in, and then, looking to get lights for your own house and stuff like that. What else? What motivates you? What do you stay disciplined on?
I try to stay disciplined on the business. One thing I was thinking about this the other day. One thing that I really enjoy that I really didn't, when I started this, I didn't think about, was the employee aspect of it. Being able to get large enough to offer health insurance and matching 401k, which we do. I've had employees in the past, but that was working, for large companies. But really being the owner and being able to offer that, it's great. And, I want to grow this, not only for my family, but also for the employees, to give them more opportunities. So really, obviously my family and the employees, our employees, are a big motivator. As far as discipline, I do try to, I am focused, trying to go to bed at better times and be more disciplined about that. Ever since I was young, I'm a night owl. But now I'm trying to go to bed between 9 and 10. But still, like I said, it's a journey. Trying to wake up at 5 a.m. to work out, before work every morning. Wake up before Maxton and be able to take them to school every day.
Well, I thought that was part of why, like, that was the allure for me. I'm a night owl too. And I'm like, dude, the lighting industry is where it's at. You get to hang out at night. You get to make money. You get to design. Like, you hang out with cool, rich people. Like, why would you not want to do this? So, like, I think it's okay to, like, lean into who you are, just because, like a lot of people will be like, oh, you got to get up at 4 a.m. and work out and stuff like that. I'm like, do you? Like, why can't you just be a night owl too?
Yeah, I enjoy the morning. I love, after you work out, especially early, you feel great the rest of the day.
Yeah.
So 4 a.m. is a little crazy. 5:15. I'm good with that as long as I go to bed in time. What motivates you?
Hey, this is my show. You don't ask me questions, TJ. Why are you asking me questions? Well, no, motivation for me is honestly, like, it's my kids, it's my family. In fact, I was on a call. Was it? I can't even remember. It might have been today. And they're like, "Oh, dang, you have 4 kids? I didn't know that." And I'm like, how do you get everything done? And I'm like, well, what do you mean? Like, that's why I get it done. Like, if I didn't have any kids, I don't think I would be as disciplined and motivated. I would just be, like, selfish and probably, like, I don't know. I just, like, I do everything for them. And so, like, when I was younger in business, I basically sacrificed my family for my business. I just, like, I didn't know what I didn't know. And I thought that I was, like, pouring into my business for my family, but then I wasn't there for them. Now what I've done is I've rewritten the rules, and I go, hey, what has to be true for me to be like dad of the year, husband of the year, and entrepreneur of the year? It's like, how do I win in all phases of my life? And then it's pretty awesome because you write your own script. Like that's the honor and privilege that we have as entrepreneurs, is we do get to decide that. So yeah, definitely my family is like my number one motivator. They're the reason why I do the if I don't want to do the thing, I do the thing, because I'm like, it's going to pay off. Yeah, it's the short-term suck for the long-term success. But yeah, thanks for asking me that.
Yeah, and to set an example for them as well, right?
Oh yeah. Well, I didn't have, I mean, my mom raised me. I didn't have a dad growing up, and like it was amazing. It's amazing how much that affected me to be like, no, I want to show them that like there's a better way, and hopefully my son one-ups me and is like, he knew nothing. Let me show you the better way,
Yeah. Same
hopefully
situation here, single mother, no dad. Luckily, my grandfather, stepped in as he could, but still, not quite the same, but at least it was something. But yeah.
And then, the other thing that motivates me now is like I never knew that I could do what I'm doing now. It wasn't even like, I wasn't even an option, but now it's amazing to see the impact. Like you mentioned, the impact on your team members, your employees. I love having impact. I love it. I love the impact that just one small business has on the world. You mentioned just your team members, like, yeah, the health insurance and benefits and all that stuff. And then their ability to go out and impact the world, and they're going to go buy from businesses, and that supports the local economy, the world economy. Like, it's crazy when you see the ripple effect of what one action can do. And then now to be, having this lighting community where like we're impacting lives like crazy. That is a huge motivator, to where I'm like, if I'm having a bad day, I think about like individual people that I've met, and I imagine their faces, and I'm like, I'm not going to let them down. I'm not going to quit. Like, just because I'm having a bad day, I'm not going to go easy on myself, because I owe it to them, So it's my family, number one. And then secondary to that is like this internal calling that I felt from God, where I'm like, no, I'm doing this. There's a bigger purpose other than just trying to do what Ryan Lee wants to do. Because some of the stuff I don't want to do, I never wanted to do a Facebook Live. I never wanted to do a podcast. I never wanted to be an influencer, if you want to call it that, But it's bigger than that.
Nah, you do a great job. And I remember from Light It Up, $1 billion impact, right?
That's right, man.
That's your goal. That's awesome. Yeah. And then in the intro, you said, you did a good job at Light It Up Expo. I'd say you did a great job. That was an awesome expo, and looking forward to next year. I can't believe that was your first one.
Yeah. What was your experience like?
Again, that was only my second show ever. AOLP was right before that. That was great. They were very different than each other.
You don't have anything to compare it to. So you're like, it was great. And then you go to another one. You're like, oh, never mind.
No, I would say two things stand out. I love talking to the other entrepreneurs, and there are a lot of guys and gals that were brand new to lighting. That was really cool. I've had some follow-up conversations with a lot of them. And then the other thing, the speakers you had, that was they were top-notch speakers. So don't know how you got some of those speakers, cool. but great job.
That's awesome, man. Well, again, I appreciate your involvement with it. Really, all the vendors and stuff. I mean, can you imagine if no vendors showed up? Can you imagine if no attendees showed up? Like, we wouldn't be doing it again. So I do appreciate you being part of the inaugural event. It means probably more than you'll ever know, because if we can't do the first one and get it off the ground, there's not gonna be a second. So we're already planning the next one. We don't have the dates and location yet, but we'll have that soon. And you felt the energy, like, and that was just year one. Like, we're just getting started. It's gonna be. It'll be the place to be. If anything in the outdoor lighting industry, everyone's going to want to be there.
Count me in next year for sure.
Love it, man. Well, so let's talk about Redwoods. What, I guess, before we kind of talk about product, because basically I want to get into product, like what you guys do, like for quality control, what separates you, stuff like that. But before I do that, what's been the hardest part so far? You guys have been around 6 years. You're just now kind of getting I imagine you wanted to kind of work out some of the kinks and stuff like that and kind of have some beta clients and then kind of organic growth from there. Similar to my journey so far, a lot of organic stuff. But now we're going to start turning it on. We're going to start telling the world who we are. You guys are in that phase. What's been the hardest part so far?
The first 2 to 3 years are the hardest. I think with any business, within the first 2 to 3 years, we had the tariffs. The Section 301 tariffs, which are still in place and actually much higher now. I remember finding out about it via presidential tweet on a Sunday morning. So that was a challenge. But with it, everyone else is going through it as well. So all you can cry about it, or you can figure out how you're going to maintain your cost structure, all that type of thing. The other thing was obviously COVID. Regarding our products, so I mentioned our first 3 products. Redwoods was designed as an integrated company in terms of we do only integrated fixtures. I didn't have an MR16 fixture until COVID started. Or until COVID hit, because everyone, the first 2 weeks of COVID, everyone was trying to figure out what the heck are we going to do? Are we going to survive? So one of my thoughts as I was gaming it out was, people will still buy lighting, but they might be a little more cost conscious. So I'm like, I need to get a lower, still a quality, but lower cost fixture out there, which was our Magnolia, which we sell a lot of. But until then, we didn't even have an MR16 fixture. And to date, we still don't do a PAR 36. We don't do a bipin. Our MR16 is the only one we have.
That's your only like drop-in fixture is the MR16, and everything else is integrated.
The Magnolia, yep. And we now have the Magnolia Max and Elm Max, where we have a module. We took our Gen 3 module from one of our other fixtures, and you can actually get up to just short of 700 lumens with it. And it's a module. It makes it actually a integrated fixture. So you can do either. That's one of our new products that I introduced at Light It Up. And it's changeable via remote control. Has 4 different lumen adjustments, modular or swappable optics, all that type of stuff. But let me go back to again, what separates Redwoods. A couple different things. I mentioned earlier working, at Apple and John Deere on a lot of product programs. Redwoods is first and foremost a product focused company. Now, people say, well, every company either provides a product or service. What separates us as a product service company is we come up with products that we don't even know if people want. We're trying to provide the best product. We're trying to come up with something new. I always say if something has been done and I can't improve upon it or bring the price down, I'm not going to do it. Like, what's the point? I'll do something different. So an example of that, I mentioned the Magnolia, our MR16 fixture. So yeah, designed it fairly quickly, had a price point in mind, but we always look at what features we can design into that. So spring loaded, designed it so the MR16 actually goes against the brass, the lip of the brass, and we use the brass as a heat sink. Did that type of thing. You get more output. Just little simple things like that, product wise, that we build in is what we try to do, and add more value, make them easier to install, and really differentiate our products, help differentiate our pro install partners from the competition.
I think that's important to really pause on for a minute, because from an outside perspective, you see a fixture and you're like, cool, we got another spotlight. Like, what am I gonna do with this? Like, how much you charge? And it's like, okay, that's how you differentiate. But like the fact that like the MR16 is pushed up against the brass and is using that as a heat sink, which means you can drive more output out of it. I mean, that's a differentiating factor. So you really do have to have that conversation. Can't look at it and it sells itself.
Yeah, absolutely. And once people understand that, they love it. Because if you have a fixed socket MR16 or any fixed socket fixture where it's inside the fixture, air's an insulator, right? So that lamp is literally baking because it's not pushing up against anything. So yeah, little simple things like that.
Nice. And what are the materials you guys use?
So we're all, premium non-recycled brass. We have no aluminum fixtures. We have one in-ground fixture that has an aluminum housing, but that's underground. That's the only one. All high efficiency Cree LEDs. Another thing we do that differentiates us, many things, but on the product side is all of our drivers are fully potted, which means so you've got the silicone-based potting material that covers all the electronics on the circuit board on the PCB. That really means something for two things, or there's two reasons for that. Two benefits. One is it helps to dissipate the heat and get it outside the fixture to prolong the life of the driver and the LED. Second is it stops moisture from getting on the components, which over time, is going to oxidize some of those metal components. So it really helps with the warranty rates, helps with the longevity, and just even our MR16s. You can actually open one up and see that the PCB is fully potted. So everything we have is like that. Another thing we do is custom optics. One thing I learned. So let me take a step back. It's not hard to make a good light. Really, you have a current, right? And you're driving an LED. You have a quality LED, and then all you really need is a quality optic. That's now the differentiators. Besides that, are what it's made out of, the IP rating, the assembly processes, the quality checks, all that type of thing, but very, very simple to do it. So we really focus on quality products, quality checks. Another thing we do that people can't believe until they see it is one of the quality things we do is when the product gets here, we actually open up and unbox every single fixture that lights up every single MR16, every lamp, every fixture, and we burn them in between 24 and 72 hours, depending on the product. So I have a full-time team that I pay that's all they do is they're checking the fixtures. We have a bunch of burn-in racks with a ton of transformers, use a lot of power. And really what that is, that's our last quality check before we ship it out. And then all our products are serialized, uniquely serialized. So our clients get a true warranty date. When we get an order, we actually scan in all of those unique serial numbers to that order. So say, 4.5 years from now, an MR16 goes out, we get that serial number from them and we can see when we actually ship that product to give them a true warranty date, a true warranty range, not some arbitrary or built date from overseas or wherever. Yeah.
What are the warranties?
Right now, on our white products, we're at 5 years, with the exception of our MR16. When you order it with our MR16 lamp, our fixture, because we know it's going to get proper heat dissipation, so you get 10 years on that. And on our color series, because those are extremely complicated. I mean, there's literally 5 unique drivers in every fixture, bunch of LEDs, full color. Those are 3 years. That being said, we are going to extend the warranties. We've been watching the data. We will be extending the warranties most likely later this year on our products, but more to come on that.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, so when I used to sell product, I would sell it like, and I did this was last week's show on the triple option. I would have like drop in, then integrated, and then RGB. And so people would naturally go, oh, so like the it's more money for the RGB, so that's the best one. I'm like, depends on what your definition of best is. There's a lot more components in that RGB thing. So actually, the warranty is going to go down. Like if you're buying for warranty, then you could make the argument that like that's not as good because there's just a lot more that can fail. It's just how that product is. So I don't think it's a huge deal that the warranty goes down. I think that's normal because you're just being upfront and honest that there's more things that can fail in this fixture.
It's much more complex. But that being said, we track that's one of the other things we can do with those serial numbers. When we do have a failure, we can go back and look to see if we made any component changes or see if there was a special run we did manufacturing wise and try to track down to root cause and fix. If it's a component issue, fix it. If it's a water intrusion issue, we fix it. So we're, yeah, it's 3 years right now, but we're doing everything we can to get that up, even though it is complex.
So you guys have been doing this about 6 years, you said? Is that right?
6.5 years. My computer's going to die. Keep
7.
talking. I'm going to plug it in real quick. Sorry.
Okay. So 6, 7 years. What have you found? Like, I guess what are your clients telling you? What's their like favorite thing about your product? Are they finding new ways to use it? Are they surprising you? Are they giving you ideas to innovate on new products? What's that process been like?
Yeah, sorry. That plug is not working.
We have
apologize. I may have to to move for a second. I don't know why that's not working. Sorry. Quick repeat.
Yeah, go. Do you need to go plug it in?
Yeah, just 1 second.
Well, while TJ's gone, I'm going to just kind of talk about my triple option, because I do think it's important to give people options. And I like that Redwoods is kind of, I guess, probably listening to the feedback of clients and saying, well, they want RGB. There's people that want drop-in. There's people that want integrated. So I do like the fact that they're offering those options, because when you go in, and even as a lighting designer, you think, oh, well, I'm the pro. I've done the research. I know what people want. When you go in and just give them one option, it doesn't like affect the internal desire. Like most of these homeowners are born with the desire to go get 3 quotes. So you could actually be the person that gives them 3 quotes, and you're like, hey, we can fit any budget. If you want to be the guy who drives the Maserati, the Lambo, whatever, like we have that. If you want to be like middle of the road, like still really premium line, we've got that. Or if you want to do more basic drop-in stuff, we have that as well. So.
Yeah.
How'd we do? Did you get it plugged in?
I'm good to go, man. Yeah, that plug wasn't working. I just used a different one. Sorry about that.
What I was asking about is, talk to me about your experience. You've been in business 6, 7 years. What's your client experience been like? Do they have any favorite fixtures? Have they surprised you in the way they're using things? Do they have ideas for you to innovate and come up with more products? Like what's that been like?
Yeah, that's my favorite. One of my favorite parts of doing this is talking with our clients. We have, as I mentioned, we're product first, so we generally will design things and then kind of get feedback on it, even though it may be way out there. But we do a lot of feedback. There's a couple of products that we had where I listened to a client. Clients, they said they really wanted these products, and a couple of them have been, we haven't, luckily we have a pretty good track record, but a couple of those have been dogs. So you got to take what they say with a grain of salt sometimes. That reminds me of that quote that from Henry Ford, what he said, or
which one
potentially said. Yeah, which one, right? If I would have asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. In a lot of these cases, people don't know that they want, like our almond series or color or something else. You kind of have to put it out there, tell them the features and benefits, and lead them to it. But we do get a lot of feedback. I welcome it. Actually, all of my clients, they have my personal cell phone. And I get calls here and there, but they don't really abuse it. But I encourage them with any product ideas or feedback to, call or text me, and we get a lot of that and incorporate it. Some of our best products have been on things that we came up with slight design changes based upon their feedback.
Yeah. How much RGB are you guys moving? Are you seeing a lot more demand for that?
Yeah, so we're on our Gen 2. So let me talk a little bit about that. So we've been in the RGB game from the beginning. So we started right after we got the first 3 products out, started developing our Bonsai Color series. We started with our high output accent light. Started that in 2019, early 2019. Me, stupidly thought it was going to take about 6 months to come up with a working prototype to put into production. Ended up taking 19 months
Dang.
and way over budget. And again, being product first, I laid out some really hard things to do. So one, wanted to make sure that it wasn't like a par 36 diameter. I challenged myself and the team to make it a standard diameter, super high output, brass fixture. Also, with some of the RGB, you have the color bleed on the side, where if it's on pink, that's blue mixed with red, and on
Yeah.
the edges, sometimes you'll see the blue and the red. I wanted none of that. Third, because the majority of our products are sold to homeowners, right? A little bit of commercial, but mostly homeowners. And with that, the majority of the time that these are going to be on, they're going to be on white. So I wanted the tunable white, to be just as good, if not better, than the vibrant RGB colors that came out. So the biggest challenge was the diameter size. It was extremely difficult to get the optic, the shroud, the power output, the spacing of all the LEDs. So anyway, we got that. We sell a lot of those. We now have a full color line, Pathlight, so on, and we're on Gen 2 of that product. It is moving. It is moving. I'm surprised. In a lot of cases, in a lot of homes, it's not a small install. Like it's, in some cases 30, 40 fixtures, where game day, they want full color Saturday, Sunday for their favorite teams, or whatever day. But the majority of time they're on that tunable white, 2200K to 5000K. So it's been really, really good. We're working on some future additional color products. Another
What does that mean?
thing we did is
Tell
we're
us.
not using our products. What's that?
Tell us what's the future?
Another thing is that you can use any. Yeah. So you can use any transformer with ours. You can control them from anywhere in the world, and you don't need Wi-Fi. That's one of the big differentiators from our technology. The future is technology is going to continue to improve. Materials and LEDs and driver components are going to continue to improve. So RGB is just going to get smaller and smaller. I have clients asking, well, can you make an RGB fixture the size of our almond, which is 1.3 inches in diameter by 0.6? And I'm like, I would love to. The technology is not quite there yet for the output you want, but someday, so we're at the forefront of that. We keep working with our manufacturer, our key suppliers, and when it's there, we'll move to it. But it's just a matter of time. These products are going to continue to get smaller, higher output, more efficient, and and more connected, and that's where it's going.
Cool, man. Well, I appreciate the rundown. Highly recommend you guys check these out, or check out Redwoods. I swear I remember you talking about AI, and I'm like, wait a minute, I've never heard a manufacturer talk about AI. Is this a way you're going to differentiate yourself too?
Yeah, so we're one of the goals I set for myself this year was everyday GPT, for looking stuff up or integrating processes. We're actually experimenting with using AI to create business dashboards. But one of the things we're going to have by the end of April is we've been working on an AI support chatbot. So we get a lot of questions. We get calls, texts, emails, and the vast majority of them, we have the information on our online product guides. So we have very detailed guides that they can go and look up, mobile friendly. But sometimes they don't want to look it up. So we're going to take all that information and more and put it into this. We're already working on it. Put it into this AI chatbot where 24/7 anyone will be able to pull out their phone or computer, either, and there's multiple ways that you'll be able to do it. They'll be able to send a text to a certain number. They'll be able to go to a dedicated app. They'll be able to go to our support website and put in whatever technical question they want. and hopefully get an answer. The great thing about it is any questions it can't answer, it logs. So we'll be able to, on a daily basis, go and respond to those. So we make it smarter as it goes. So I think it's gonna be really beneficial and further, just help our clients, our pro install partners.
Love it, man. I like it. We're that's one of our big initiatives too. Like we're already using a lot of AI, but we're gonna help our clients use it a lot more and stuff like that. So that's awesome, man. Well, anything else, man? Anything before we wrap up, TJ, about Redwoods, or anything you want to share with the world?
Yeah, last thing, I should have mentioned it earlier, but we sell only to approved pro install partners. We don't sell through distributors. We don't sell direct to consumer. Not that there's anything wrong with any of those, but we just choose not to go that route.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with it. But there are a couple benefits for our partners is we can control how many we have in a given territory. So if we've got a couple that are relatively large in a large city, we might say no to anyone else because a lot of our clients use our product to differentiate themselves from their competition. So that's one of the benefits. Also, really value those. I mean, I talked about relationships. I really value those relationships. So having those relationships and helping them and get their feedback, helping them with their business if they need it. I'm always here to talk to them. Yeah. So if anyone's interested in finding out more about Redwoods or becoming potentially a Redwoods pro install partner, go to our website, Redwoods Lighting, Redwoods with an S, lighting.com. Scroll down to the bottom and click on become a partner. And there's some information there, a short form, and we'll get back to you ASAP.
Awesome. Well, TJ, it was a pleasure, man. I appreciate you coming on here. I'm still slightly offended that you waited till I left Utah to come skiing without me. So next time, let's just, make sure I'm here. Okay.
You left. You knew I was coming. You left. So you left me, man. But
Well,
next time we'll hit it up.
Heck yeah, man. Well, thanks for coming on here. I look forward to getting to know you better. Look forward to working with you guys in the future, and highly, highly recommend you guys check them out. It's redwoodslighting.com, and then click on become a pro install partner. So thanks, TJ. I really appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you and everything you're doing for the community.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
All right. Bye, Maxton.
Yeah, give another shout out. See you, Maxton. And my Max. Is my Max watching? See you.